You're watching Straight Black Love Talk with your host, DC Radical One, the home of intelligent, mature relationship conversations.
Greetings, Black family. I am your host, DC Radical One. Y'all give me a one if you can hear me. Uh, I humbly apologize for not being on time. I was had a small technical issue with the information I was trying to load up. So you have my apologies for being late. Um, Let me see who's in the building. BB Fodier, Sister Najee, BB Fodier, brother, you got ripped off. BB Fodier, brother Elijah, and greetings to I'm assuming that that's a sister Jazz, and also BB Fodier to Sister Simone. Okay, brother. Hopefully we get some more people in tonight. But tonight I wanted to talk about this social media thing and excuse me how it affects our perceptions of Black love. Something happened today that, like, when I say today, I mean like, yeah, a couple of hours ago, and well, not even a couple of hours for me, and it really invigorated me as far as I don't even know if Oh, bro, you got ripped off. You ain't tell me that. All right. My humble apologies again. I'm glad I haven't even got started yet, and anyway, how's everyone doing? That's what I would say. Let me find this music. Let's get in the mood. Um, let's see if this is the get started. So we. Oh, okay. All right. So I'm back. Let's try this again. You know, again, I'm your host, DC Radical One. You can follow me on Instagram at dc.radical1, on Twitter at dc_radical_one, and on OTW2, which is a Black-owned platform at DC Radical One. You can also donate via Cashapp, $DC Radical One. And the first thing I want to do while this mic is on is thank sister who follows me on Instagram and been a supporter. She donated a significant sum of money, and I just want to thank that sister from the bottom of my heart. And if you're listening, I'm not sure if you're in here. If you're listening, well, now I forget I can send you a message on Instagram. But yeah, we need to talk so I can thank you personally. That's all I can say. So what I was saying before the mic went off is that when the sister made that generous donation, I was overwhelmed, and it really reminded me. This ain't the song I hope. But it really reminded me that there is a song on here that I just can't think it. But you know what I'm gonna do? This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. We're going with this one. All right, we're going with our theme song. And also, I'm gonna thank another sister who did the voiceover for our theme. By the way, appreciate you. Won't name you unless you want to be named, but I appreciate that. But yeah, no, it was overwhelming. I didn't even. What's funny is when it took place, I didn't even have my phone on. Phone was on charger. I didn't, I got jokes. I couldn't find a song I wanted, so I went with our theme song. This is our theme song. And y'all let me know, because I can't hear it. I don't know if it's my headphones or what. But are the sound levels for the music good? Because for whatever reason, my headphones, I guess I might take a little bit of that money, buy some $10 headphones, because I can't hear anything. Okay, appreciate it. So what I was saying is, when the sister sent that, now it was just, when I turned the phone on and it got the notification, I was like, his was funny. Because of the name, I thought it was someone I was related to, and I was about to call them and be like, you sure you sent this to the right person? Then I looked and paid attention, and I was like, no, that's not who I think it is. And then I got this, sister sent me a message on social media, and I was like, oh, okay. Then I was, I had to process. I'm gonna just say this before I get started. My experiences, I will admit that my experiences with Black women may be different from other brothers. My experiences with Black women have shaped my view of Black women, and my experiences with Black women have been more positive than negative, right? So, and I just give you an example. I'll give you an example. I have most of my employment life, professional life, whatever, right? And I've done a lot of different things. Being completely honest, and this is just an example. If there's not a Black woman who is interviewing me, I pretty much know. You know what I'm saying? It's 25-75 not getting a position. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter qualifications, things like that. If a Black woman is interviewing me, chances are 75-25 that I get the position. That's been my experience. Various Black women in my family have helped me. Sisters that I've just run across in life have been a help without looking for anything in return. So my experience with Black women is different from some people, some brothers. A lot of the support I get, where it may not be, a lot of support I get since I've been in the movement been from sisters. Oh, by the way, brother, you got ripped off. I forgot. Can you do the honors and let the people know we on? And also, can you send it to people like Sister Fonessa and some of the people on Instagram, because I forgot I left some of the people off. So I don't see them here, and I didn't message them. So I left them out though. I just forgot. That was just oversight on my part. But so I say that to say that I don't disregard the experiences that other men have had, but those aren't my experiences, right? And so with that, I've also taken time to okay, cool. I've taken time to talk to sisters and to get into their thinking and interact with them. Because here's something that happened before I even get into the program, right? One of the big problems we have is that a lot of brothers aren't willing to have to have honest, positive conversations with sisters, or just honest conversations in general. Ain't got to be positive, without expecting some type of further interaction. If you understand what I'm saying, right? Because we trying to get this monetized, so I'm trying to, So, and when I remember talking to some sisters when I worked with a lot of black people. And I remember talking, and one of the things I came away with, I said, you know what? A lot of black women, and now it's been some years ago, but I don't think it's changed. In fact, it's probably gotten worse. Maybe, let's say this was 7, 8 years. I said, you know what I realized? I said, a lot of black women, because they grew up with their father, a lot of sisters, for whatever reason, a lot of women don't have older brothers, stuff like that, uncles. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of families with an like they're unbalanced as far as like the family, like with a lot of women to a few men, or like the women are older, men are young. Like a lot of that stuff goes on in the family, in different families. So, it's kind of interesting. But what I realized, and I've said this before on other forums, that a lot of black women don't have central interaction with men, and because of that, then they don't get to understand men, how men think, how men act, what's normal for a man, what's abnormal. And so that shapes, it kind of clouds their vision, and it shapes their understanding or misunderstanding of men. And a lot of men, especially younger generations, talk to brothers, their relationships with, just being frankly, a lot of brothers, their relationship with their mother is not very good because their mother is toxic, right? So we carry these things forward, and then it shapes how we perceive reality. So my perception is going to be different, right? Because my grandmother was my favorite person, and she always supported me, and she always looked out for me. She supported me in stuff that was against her beliefs, right? But she supported me. I have aunts that the reason I like certain music and stuff because it's their favorite music. You know what I'm saying? And I'm show you how old I am. Their records, those big round black things that we used to put on top of their records, were the records that shaped my love of music, that made me the reason that I went to learn to play instruments, right? So much of my life has been shaped by positive interactions with black people. So even if you come to the whole love relationship thing, that hasn't been all positive. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and tell that lie. But even with that, I am been, it allowed me to look introspectively and see what have I contributed to the negative outcomes, right? Sometimes your contribution to the negative outcome of a relationship is that you got in a relationship. I'm gonna say that again. Sometimes the negative outcome of the relationship is caused by you getting into the relationship. Now, what am I saying? come on, brothers. This young, all right, I'm talking to the brothers specifically. Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm saying, see this sister. You know, you like her. Be before the ingredients to raw item white. You see the sister, you like what you see. You get to know her. You start noticing things that you don't like, and you proceed anyway. Right? Now, because you did that, because that's your choice, the outcome, right? Because now everybody doesn't see it, but a lot of times we see it and we just like, I might get work on it. And maybe it's something that can change, maybe it's something that's not. But a lot of times you see those, as they say, those red flags. The thing to do is really get into the sister's mind and see if those are things that are malleable, or those things that you can disregard because they're not really relevant to the relationship. Or is this something that's at the core of her being because of previous experiences and she's not going to let them go, and then therefore there will be no change, and then thus this thing is just going to head into a brick wall sooner or later. It might not head into a brick wall, in 6 months. It might not head. It may take 6 years for it to just go off a cliff. And of course, we know in 6 years you can be reproduced and all types of stuff can take place. And then you got a broken family, right? All because you chose to disregard and ignore obvious differences or obvious problems or obvious flaws that you saw, or obvious incompatibilities. But sometimes it's not even a flaw. Sometimes it's just an incompatibility. Sometimes you're just not compatible with somebody, right? And there are different types of incompatibilities. Sometimes you can be incompatible physically, right? Now, being incompatible physically can go into a whole lot of different things, right? Some things are important, some things aren't. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some sisters that they won't date somebody, a brother that's shorter. Other sisters that don't mind. I'm not gonna lie. When I was young, Lord help, man. I heard this. This woman probably was close to the age I am now, and I was in my early 20s, I guess. I heard her say, now she's kind of a tall, thick sister, right? Full body sister. And I overheard her one time at work. She was like, they were talking about men. I wasn't supposed to hear the conversation, but I had walked past, and I was, what they used to, old people used to say back in the day, ear hustling, whatever. And the sister said, whatever. Let me tell you something. We all the same height once we get in the bedroom. And I just started laughing because I just started laughing because I'm like, it just shows the difference. Now, nowadays, women like, man got to be, basically in NBA or NFL athlete, basically, right? But back then, man, it was like whatever. But there are other incompatibilities, right? Sometimes you're not compatible, maybe for religious reasons. Sometimes you're not compatible because one person has morals and the other person has none. You know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be some things that you won't do. And some people that they don't have no won't do. That's what I always say. There has to be something you won't do. I'm not saying anybody has to be perfect, but there has to be some won't do, because I have to know that if something happens and your partner is accused of XYZ, you're like, well, now I know they wouldn't do that, right? But a lot of people don't have any won't do. And sister, you say, is the Cashapp the same? Yeah, it's the same as $DC Radical. But if you don't have one dude, then that means that you can't really. People of low character, we never talk about it. It's difficult for people of low character to have healthy relationships. Because if you have low character, let's be honest, you don't have. If two low character people are together, the relationship can only be toxic, right? How can a relationship be toxic? Y'all tell me. Somebody tell me. Am I tripping? Is what I'm saying make sense? Can two people of low character come together and have a healthy relationship over time? Because to me, the answer is no. Because if you have low character, that means you're willing to do anything, which means you're going to have cheating. You're going to have not just a man, but a woman. If you got two people with low character, you're going to have the man raising somebody else's child in the house while he got children outside the house. You're going to have the man might be putting his hands on the woman might be putting her hands on the man. Y'all going to come up trying to figure out where all the money went, because one person that went and gambled away the money or spent the money on rocks or whatever, right? So that's never part of the discussion when we have black love discussions. We never discuss poor character, because if we discuss poor character, that's going to affect everybody, right? And when we have these discussions, a lot of times people don't want to admit their part, right? The idea that one person, this is the only problem I have with sisters on the internet. This idea that the guy that they were with, or their ex-boyfriend, boyfriend, ex-husband, baby daddy, whomsoever, was the whole problem in the relationship. I'm gonna be honest. I'm very skeptical of those assertions. Because I'm gonna say this, right? And sisters, I love y'all. So I want y'all to ask for your money back when I say what I'm about to say. But some of y'all have your tongue is like a sword that cuts into the soul of men. Right? Like that. Let's be honest. That's why it pays no, as a man, it is of very little value to get into a back and forth with a black woman, because she's going to say something that's going to be like an uppercut to the family jewels. Okay? Like, if I got any boxing fans out here, just go back and watch the Riddick Bowe Andrew a lot of fight. That's how some sisters are with their tongue, right? Yeah, look. So we got to be real, but at the same time, we also know that we got brothers amongst us that is toxic. They are toxic, but generally those traits are kind of like, being honest with a lot of sisters, like not all the time, because some people are committed. A lot of brothers, they're not skilled enough to hide it. Like sometimes it's just obvious right in front of you. You just like, yeah, he's got some issues. But once you say that, so mate selection, man, is important. It's a real thing. But the whole thing is you have to know self well enough to know what you can and can't deal with before you even get to the selecting of the mate part of the situation, right? How well do you know yourself? How well do you know what you can and can't deal with? What you, what's important to you in a relationship? What's your motivation for being in a relationship? What are your goals, right? Because to be honest, men don't always tell the truth. I know, shocking. Right? Brothers don't always tell the truth about their goals. Women don't always tell the truth to themselves about their goals. Right? Let's be honest. Many times, Y'all want me to tell the truth, or y'all as Al Anonymous to say, y'all want me to lie to you, make it sound fly to you. Y'all put a 1 in chat. Y'all want me to tell the truth, right? Y'all want me to tell the truth. You know what? I want another song while I'm waiting for y'all to respond. All right, there we go. I'm gonna go with this. I don't see any ones in the chat whatsoever. So y'all want me to lie to you, make it sound fly to you. That's fine. All right, I'll tell some lies. I'm gonna tell the truth. We're serious. Can we be honest here? One of the things, man, that sisters don't want to admit is sometimes y'all just be caught up in lust. I know. I'm not supposed to speak on it, but can we be real? Because when I talk to sisters and we try to say how they got into certain situations, they have like no reasonable answer. And so what I learned is once I hear that, I was like, oh, okay, I know the answer. Because here's some game for the brothers. Put your own the game. This was taught to me probably 30 years ago. Now, sisters, if y'all disagree, because we all open up the thing, but right now I'm just gonna chop it up. And I guess I will go through the slides because I did take time to make them. But here's some game my brother put me on. He said, let me tell you something. You know, I was young, so I'm like, and it's funny because it's somebody I didn't even like, but I always thanking for this game because this is world-class game. I'm putting y'all into. He said, man, as soon as a woman sees you, she put you in 1 of 3 categories. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? All right, you have my attention. He said, category 1, he can get it. Right? He can get it. That's category 1. Any brother out here that's dealt with a sister that, like, you notice her looking at you a certain way, she got to look in her eye. You know what I'm talking about. I've gotten that look from women of multiple races, which kind of bugged me out when I got it from non-black women, because it kind of like, I didn't think it was possible for whatever reason. So it was kind of like, what's happening here? Wait a minute. Like I'm looking around for a setup, or somebody trying to rob me or something. Just to be completely honest. Right? So he said that's 1. He said level 2, basically it's like, it's this nebulous region in the middle that most men used to be in, where in essence, I forgot exactly what he said, but in essence, it's if he proves himself, I'll give him a shot. Right? So the difference between, now listen, brothers, the difference between he can get it and if he proves himself is why I hear a lot of men complain about spending money on dates and stuff like that. Then there is the last spot, is no chance. No chance, that's like what it sounds like. There's no chance this woman is not turned on by you in any way, shape, or form. She's not attracted to you. It's just not happening. Now, of these 3 categories, when I was young, the vast majority of men went into category 2, the middle nebulous area, where you could work your way up, right? The brother told me back then, he said, the chances of going up 1 level or down 1 level is possible, but not probable. The chances of going up 2 levels or down 2 levels are nearly impossible. So from going from no chance that he can get it is virtually impossible. Going from he can get it to no chance, you basically have to just, in essence, fumble the relationship bag, right? Now, sisters, if y'all disagree, speak now or speak in the comments after this thing goes up and y'all let me know. So That's what he put me into. So that made me start checking women like quicker to see if they were checking me. And then I could, if you catch them, but it's quick, you know what I'm saying? Like they do their survey and their analysis quick, right? Because it's a primal thing, right? A lot of times what it is a sister's just tuned into the frequency of your masculinity is resonating with the frequency of her femininity. You know what I'm saying? So one of the problems that people have is brothers are trying to get with women who don't resonate with the frequency of their masculinity, right? And then that's why, the woman makes you work extra. That's how you end up with a woman trying to get you to spend $200-$300 on a first date and all this other stuff that brothers complain about, because the woman does not resonate with your level of masculinity, right? Or the frequency of your masculinity. It may not even be the level of your masculinity. It may be the type of masculinity that you are emitting, which is something that you aren't aware of, right? So I'll give an example. Your the way you walk, the way you talk as a man, the way you carry yourself, your assertiveness, or maybe your laid back personality, or whatever, or your boisterousness, or your humor, or whatever, right? Whatever like personality traits are manifest in you, is not going to resonate with every woman. I've seen sisters who I've seen times where a brother come in and like literally, at an event or a party or something, and literally like 80% of the women are just like, heads turning, oohing and eyeing. And then there'd be like one or two sisters they act like he ain't even in the building. Like he don't even exist. You know what I'm saying? They look up and then turn back around and go back to what they're doing. And you just like, that's interesting. Because whatever the frequency that he's resonating at, everyone else, all the women in this room are vibing to it and, trying to see what's up with him. And then you'll just see two sisters. And what's funny is a lot of times if you just in a room and you observe this, now we don't have everything in social media now. You can't observe this as much. Sister Tia says, I agree. And I would use the word complimentary as well. A compliment to each other's frequency. Indeed, sister. Like, if you ever get into a social environment and you notice this, it's funny because at least a few times I've seen it, the women who don't respond to that brother who is attracting the vast majority of women, it's funny because they'll be on different levels, looks level. So you'll see a sister that's just like, average sister, and she's just like, she ignored the dude. And then you'll see the sister that's gorgeous, and you're thinking that because they're on the two people are like similar looks level, that they might vibe and whatever she done. That guy just don't move her for whatever reason. And it's something that it's men. It's not something like for us to try to judge why women are or aren't attracted to a certain man. That's not even something we can. That's not something we can do as long as you're a man. If you're a man, you understand what I'm saying, right? So, I just want to put that game out there for brothers, especially any young brothers or single brothers. Hear this. I'm saying, let's take this into account. Now, one thing we can do as men, you can improve, or you can enhance your masculinity by improving yourself physically. You understand what I'm saying? But I've done it before when I was young, and I definitely saw the difference. Um, Shout out to GNC back in the day. And it's then of course, we know economics plays into it, especially today. Like, I'm not gonna lie, economics probably plays into it today more than any other time, because the change in the mentality of the women has become very much, how can I put it nicely? Many of my women have become very capitalistic. That's what I'll say. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying, especially younger sisters, right? To their own detriment in many ways, because that can lead you to doing things even outside the relationship realm that can make you degrade yourself, right? That's just a reality of the situation. So, but as a man, you can, as I told my little brother, I call him my little brother, even though big strong dude. I told him years ago, I said, you can increase your pool of women by improving yourself physically and improving yourself financially, but you cannot improve the quality of the women that you attract. It just, you know what I'm saying? Like, the quality of people in your sphere is the quality of people in your sphere. It is what it is. You can only expand your sphere, right? So as a man, you may walk in a room and you might be able to attract 2 women out of 100. And you can go and spend 3 years in the gym and go get an extra degree and go on Wall Street, make some money or whatever. And you may attract 30 women in that room of 100, right? That's 15 times more. But that doesn't mean that women are going to be 15 times of a higher quality than they were. No, you just improve your odds because you improve your pool. But you haven't improved, those 100 women in that dating pool. You might be in the whole wrong dating pool. You know what I'm saying? So, let me see, brother. You got Rico said, try dating someone exactly like me. We even shared birthdays and trauma. Said we're too much alike. Said need a compliment to fill the empty parts. Right. Yeah. No, I've run into that where, one of the funniest things about, like, if you date someone, y'all have like similar birthdays or y'all come from the same place and you have like the same experiences. Because a lot of times it'll show you parts of yourself that you don't like. Right? The person will irritate you because they're too much like you in the wrong ways. You know what I'm saying? You be like, oh my God, I can't stand this person. So that's an interesting dynamic. So anyway, I think I've done. Is that all I'm going to talk about as far as like? I think that's all the game I want to get a brother. Now, your sisters are like, well, you ain't give us no game. First of all, most sisters got game naturally because most of all the game I learned, other than that, I learned from you. And some of that stuff I probably should save for some type of paid, but because the sisters don't make so much money, y'all got that game for free. So y'all can y'all can thank her. But yeah, let's get into the slide. So the question I asked, is black love dead or social media pushing it out? Y'all know my answer, but we'll get to it. Let's see. It's been so long since I've done slides. First of all, I have not done and sister, hold on. I'm gonna put this in. Let me see. Sister says if black love dies, and so do we. Social media has been pushing. All right, you know what? Because I'm putting this up because it's so on point, and I have no problem. I hope you don't mind me putting this up. Actually, it's my bad. I should have asked first. But it says if black love dies, and so do we. Social media has been and is pushing a dangerous narrative of extreme self-hatred, which is why we should delete these tools and use our own black sites. Well, kind of hard to argue with that. By the way, our own sites for those that don't know. You can go to otw2.com. That's otw2.com. And you can search there for DC Radical 1. That's me. I am on there. So the only reason I don't mind how people using this tool is just because I am on this platform to give some outreach and give some counterbalance the negativity. It's one of the things I'm doing. How effective it is, I don't know. But it is one of the things I'm doing. So I forgot to do the straight black pledge, but I'll just read it quickly as I remember back. Because actually I'm supposed to start with this, but the microphone was doing the same thing. So it says, I pledge allegiance to my straight, black, and proud ancestors and to the culture and traditions which they founded. I vow to practice those traditions of straight black love, family building, and nation building to the best of my ability, using all my life's energy, intelligence, and creativity. I also vow to do everything in my power to protect black men, black women, and especially black children from sexual abuse, homosexuality, exploitation, and miseducation, as long as I'm mentally, physically, and spiritually able. Lastly, I vow to fight against any force, physical foe, ideology, or philosophy which threatens the straight, black, and proud culture, regardless of origin. This I pledge in the name of my African ancestors and the divine creator. Now, get the banner back up. And put mine. So, and brother, you got ripped off, says we truly don't understand the effect and effects of the implementation of sexual repair. Brother, yeah, brother, you're correct. There are. Anyway, there's a cultural imposition that's taking place globally, not just against black people, but generally we tend to be the guinea pigs in any situation. So we're under attack in a way that we don't see. And what makes it worse is when we don't see how it's affecting other people, we just get confused. Brother, you got ripped off. You said you did the pledge with the Kwanzaa libations. Hey, that's beautiful, brother. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. So let's get to the slide again. I keep this up all the time because we have to be reminded. At least I think we have to be reminded. Because let's just be honest, we don't like to deal with the reality about our situation. We're trying to run. Many of us, and because it's painful. Let's be honest, right? Our history is specifically in this Western Hemisphere is painful, but it's a mix of pain and triumph. You know, it's so funny. Like one of my favorite hip hop beats is Wu-Tang Clan's Triumph. I believe that was made by Chris, I think. And I don't know why, but like the concept of triumph is something that as black people we need to embrace more. I think that the reality that we have overcome many things, and even though we continue in this battle, we can overcome evil and achieve victory. Right? May not be today and tomorrow, but we can overcome our and we've had victories. We just don't. A lot of times we don't count them as victories. So anyway, let me get back to this. It says in traditional African and traditional African American culture, marriage was an expected part of adulthood. In many African societies, you were not considered an adult if you were not married. The family was considered the foundational institution of the society. There was no debate about the equality of men and women, as each had their jobs to do for the society. This is one of the things that we like. There's a lot of confusion right here. Before they straight black pride, okay. There's a lot of talk about gender roles, and the foundation and root of that discussion about gender roles are rooted in Zionist feminism to cause confusion. We'll talk about that more later. And I just thought about something. I'll ask y'all that. I'll ask y'all at the end of the show. When you got birth on, just remind me to say, hey, you just gonna ask us a question. Like, how long have I been on? I've been on an hour? And a half an hour. So anyway, it says during our enslavement, black men and women would often escape and try to find their spouses and children, risking life and limb. Black people would buy their loved ones with money that they saved up over time to give them across the street. This is something we don't talk about, right? There's this idea that all black people during enslavement only did plantation work out in the field, chopping sugar cane if you were in like Jamaica, cotton if you're in America, so on and so forth. But we never talk about the skills that people had. Many times, even though a lot of times people were taken young, what they don't talk about is that we had guilds, right? And that families were a part of, and you inherited a skill. You were a blacksmith. You were a carpenter, right? And these various other trades, what we now call trades, people grew up in that. So your father did it, and he taught it to you. Or a sister would, knew how to sew or make quilts and things like that. So when the European came and started taking people, they were taking people that they knew were skilled. They weren't taking unskilled people. In fact, like, we never talk about it, but some of our people were taken from the region where the one of the best educational institutions, like literally just 50 to 100 years before that, was located in West Africa. We was taken from these places. Many of our people were learned people, were scholars. There have been examples of enslaved Africans who wrote their experiences in Arabic, and it was only because they happened to come across some European that was educated enough to be able to realize what he was looking at, that it wasn't scribble scrabble, that the man was writing in Arabic, because in certain parts of North and West Africa at the time, because of the Arab slave trade that we don't talk about, the cultural imposition of the Arabic writing system superseded and overwhelmed the previous writing system that existed. There's this belief that Africa had no writing. No, a lot of our writing in history was destroyed because people were fleeing from different regions and they weren't able to settle down and continue their cultural traditions, or different groups of people will come together and then you form a totally different clan. So then now you have to, when you're melding those things, sometimes you just take a piece from here and a piece from there, and that's how you build your new cultural context. But the base culture underneath the multiple language systems and the different names that African people have and all of that, there's a base African culture at the root of all of that. And only when you understand your culture and your history can you see it, right? Perfect example is libation. I remember, I'm not gonna tell you how long ago it was. I remember when I was like 18, and a brother broke down libation. He said, you don't even realize y'all still doing libation right now. So I'm just looking at him like, nah. I'm like, first of all, I don't even know what libation is, so you keep doing it. Doesn't make any sense. Right? Then he was talking about at the time, and I don't know if brothers still do it, but at the time in the hood, people, I mean, it's gonna show you how long ago this was. People were drinking their 40 ounces. Right? It was in vogue at the time to pour out a little liquor for the homies that's not there, for the dead homies. That was libation. We just didn't know it, right? Just using alcohol instead of water. Just thinking about the dead homies instead of ancestors. But it was literally the same process that had been carried on, and we had no idea that we were doing it, right? So it just goes to show that we think we step outside of our cultural context because we've been here, and we try to de-Africanize ourselves while carrying on African traditions without even realizing, like the whole call and response that we do. You go to, you go to a show, or you go to church, right? And whoever's on stage, they say something, and then we respond, and then they say something else, and then we respond, and we all have a good time, and it raises up our energy and our spirit, and we think we're doing something new. And that's something that the African tradition probably go back 1 million years, right? I mean, the drum. You see what I'm saying? The reason they took away the drum is because we were able to, the drum builds a rhythm that builds a frequency that gets everyone in sync. And we were able to send messages to each other over thousands of miles, but the drum process itself gets us in sync, gets us on one accord spiritually, while then sending the message over hundreds of miles, right? And sending messages that can't be deciphered by those who are unlearned, which means what? Our enemies. So the reason why, like the Jamaican Maroons and the Haitians and people like that, the reason why they were able to be effective is, we never talk about it, the use of the drum was part of that. Using the drum was part of the process of liberation, right? But why do you think they changed hip hop? Because there was a time when hip hop was very much, it was especially coming out of New York, was hip hop was very much affected by the movement that was going on there, especially coming out of Harlem. So you had Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Amos Wilson. At that time, the Nation of Islam was not what it is now. Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, I think, in March 7. So you had these people, and of course the 5% Nation, influencing the rappers that were coming up, and they were basically just putting the message of these people into the music, right? And that was changing our mind. And yes, people like, going way back, people like Stetson Sonic, like the young people got involved in the whole Free South Africa movement, largely not because of the organization that the adults were doing, but because of the hip hop, right? So the European took it from what it was, which was a remanifestation of the African drum. And when they bought it, especially the Zionists, they altered it, as 5% would say, mixed and tampered with. And now we have what we have today, which is just largely deaf music. I mean, it just is what it is. Anyway, we'll get on to, I'm going through these slides very slowly. All right, we'll get through stuff y'all haven't seen. Is Black love dead? That's the question. It says, well, Black men and Black women face significant challenges. There are still Black people getting engaged, getting married, creating and maintaining families, and indeed around the world. social media tends to not show these types of relationships. I don't have that to add. Anybody got anything to add to that? Y'all let me know. It says 85% of black men who are married are married to black women, and 93% of married black women are married to black women. Now I'm gonna say this for the brothers. That is 6 out of 7. We gotta do a little better. Just be honest. Gotta do this. By the way, this was data as of 2021, so things may have changed somewhat in the last 3 years, but we gotta do a little better. And I understand. No, I don't. I'm about to tell a lie. I don't. Can I be honest? I'm just being honest. I don't understand how dudes pledge their entire life and existence to non-black women and trust those black women to raise those children, to not betray them, and trust those women to not put something in their food, not wake in their sleep, and to, remove them from the planet. I'm just being completely honest. Look, I watched too much Dateline. I watched too much Dateline, man, to do that, right? I'm not saying that you should be engaging with them intimately. I'm not giving a pass on that, but actually pledging your entire life to these people, giving all your resources, all your life's energy and intelligence and emotional support and love and all that stuff to people that you shouldn't even be trusted. And then what would be killing me, at least there's a low bar. At least the brothers don't come on and complain about racism after they do that, right? What be killing me is the black women. They'll complain about racism and then go lay up with the son of the slave master. I don't have no understanding at all. Like who do you think is doing the racism? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like the quote unquote whole black divester is like that's some special case of mental illness. That goes along with what we used to see, which I don't see much anymore, with dudes that would be in a whole organization, right? Whole black organization, and with some other, like I remember, this was a long time ago. I remember going to a black restaurant in DC, in fact, Georgia Avenue. It's no longer there. And like the whole vibe is black. It's all black people. It's black owned. And then like I'm not talking about like regular black people owned. I'm like black people who were part of a black religious organization owned. And so I'm going in there and getting some vegan food or whatever. Taking my family there so they could try it, and gotta bring some stuff. Gotta bring something home to mom so she can enjoy it. Which is a funny story there. My mother demolished my food. Then brought it to her, left all the food on the counter. She picked what she wanted, which kind of wasn't supposed to happen. But anyway, I'm in there, and I'm in a restaurant, and I'm in there waiting for my food and vibing, and they playing like, I don't know, like Music Soul Child or something like that. And then this brother comes in, and then I look, and he just brought this Asian chick with him in there into this restaurant. And she's looking around like, so she's looking around like, oh my God, how are we here and this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, fam, come on. I ain't even say nothing. I just looked at it. I'm just rolling my eyes, shaking my head like, what are we doing? And this was years ago. Like this, I can't blame this on this generation. This was years ago. This was probably been, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 years ago. And just and then, I mean, he said, like, you know how these dudes, like, when they got a non-black woman, they be prancing around like they got, like, what Jay-Z say, the hottest girl in the game wearing my chain or whatever. That's how he was. And I'm looking, this some little Asian shit. You know, just like the Asian chick that serve you with 5 wings and fried rice. You know, okay. I'm not impressed. I don't know why we do it. I miss the old days when, like, people used to, like, when brothers used to coon, they just used to disappear off into white land. They get them non-black women, especially European people. They knew about with them folks, and we never saw them, heard from them again, and they ain't making any noise, and wasn't trying to prove nothing. I said, we never saw them again. They fine. We just were chalking it up. We lost them. Now people go over there and get them folks and then try to prance around and like they proving something. So I don't understand. Anyway, I done went way off on a tangent. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, the vast majority of black people who have children have those children with other black people. Thankfully, while interracial coupling is increasing, and can't doubt that part. Black on black love, or at least black on black lust, is still the. I forgot I was supposed to. Oh no, I didn't forget. The thing kicked me out, and look, I lost the video. There's a video, and I'll probably chop this up and add it to one of these clips. But there's a video of Dr. Julia Hayes talk about black relationships. It's hilarious. So I'll do that. Successfully married black couples tend to avoid the spotlight in order to maintain their healthy relationship. Listen, I don't blame those people. That is wise, to be honest, because can we be honest? Part of our self-hatred is jealousy of black people who have what we don't have. So I don't blame. Like, I'll give y'all a perfect example. Do y'all remember when Simone Biles? When Simone Biles did an interview with her and I think her husband, Jonathan Holmes. He used to play for. I think he was drafted by the Houston Texans, and now he plays for the. He plays for Green Bay. I'm not sure. What do you say, brother? You got ripped up. Said real talk. Back in November, I was wearing an SBPM shirt and race first being in the store. He said a Negro got irritated and had his hand on the biscuit. He said while we were cashing out prize scarcity. Wow. Oh, he was in the store with okay. That explains it. Yeah, that explains it. He had to in there with them folks. Yeah, that's why I salute y'all. I can't live in those environments where black people being with non-black people. So no, I can't live in those environments, because I'm not gonna be able to hold my tongue all the time. And then it's just gonna devolve into some shenanigans, which I'm way too old for shenanigans. So, so says we don't need to be having no free DC rallies, free brother DC rallies. I can't do it. So anyway, yeah, that's crazy. Now it says, why does social media make black love seem so toxic? Well, number one, most social media platforms are owned by the enemies of black people. I mean, look, what y'all want me to say? You know what I'm saying? Pull Allen Iverson again. Want me to lie to you? Make it sound fly to you. It's just reality situation. These platforms, they benefit from our usage, but they weren't made for our benefit. That's just a fact, right? Again, you want to go to our social media platform, you go to otw2.com. You know, go to otw2.com. I'm keep saying, go to otw2.com. I got stuff that I need to put over there. I haven't put nothing over there before. But yeah, you can follow me. It says those platforms thrive by pushing negative stereotypes. Those platforms thrive by pushing negative stereotypes. Not just it was deep. Not just to us, but remember the whole manosphere thing wasn't started in the Black community. That's something we picked up on, but that wasn't started in the Black community. So we had our own issues of divisiveness, and now those issues have spilled over to other people. Right? Now it says single people and people who are hurting are usually the ones who are on social media the most because they got time. Healthily married couples are usually too busy maintaining their relationship to show off on social media. I mean, do y'all detect any lies with that? Y'all let me know. Sister Tia said, part of the agenda we fall into the trap. Indeed, we do. At least it's not as bad as like rappers in the South who called the trap and then fell into the trap, which doesn't make any sense because it's called the trap. So if it's called the trap, how do y'all get it? Anyway, algorithms for social media are designed to keep people on social media, right? That's how it works. The more you're on, the more engagement, the more profitable it is. Because people tend to like negativity over positivity because a lot of people are jealous. Social media algorithms also tend to show you more of what you show an interest in. So if the negativity between Black men and Black women is what you are interested in, it's going to show you more of that. It means also, take the banner down. Get to this. Take the banner down. Take the banner down? Okay. Means that they will neglect to show you the things that you have not shown an interest in or which contradict the things which you have shown an interest in. Right? Now, so what about the problems we had before social media? Because you know me. I anticipate what the naysayers are going to say before they say it. All right, so let's talk about it. It's not a whole lecture, so we're going to talk about everything, but let's deal with it. Ever since slavery, there's been an interest by our enemies in creating division between Black men and Black women. If you don't know that, I don't know. There's nothing I can tell you in 5 minutes to explain it to you. I just have to send you one of my lectures. Anyway, in fact, yeah, you better get you better get Baba Ruby's book on the Mafia. That will help you understand. Which is weird. I can't remember the title of the book right now. But you got ripped off. What's Baba Ruby's book? Because I used to read it every year. Now that I think about it, I used to read it every year where he talks about the Mafia and he puts you right there. Okay, Buka, thank you, brother. Now, so they divided us on the continent in the slave dungeons and have been dividing us ever since. If you want to know how that process worked and that whole enslavement process, if you can stomach it, you're man enough and woman enough, please get Baba Ruby's book, K Booker. And I used to read it every year, and now I need to find it. I think I need to go back there. Also, the feminist movement set out in the 1960s to divide Black women from the Black Power movement. Again, Gloria Steinem wrote after Black Power Women's Liberation in April 1969. I believe it was in the New Yorker magazine. So I'm not making stuff up. Like this was stated publicly. This wasn't even like secret conspiracy. So it says, in order to destroy our movement and to make their movement more successful. What you say, brother? You still haven't read it because you know the anger it feels with. Still got to work around people. Yeah. But I think it's in certain books like Structuring Black Civilization and K. Booker that I try to read at least a significant portion of to recenter myself every year. Be honest. Probably some other books I need to add to the list. But anyway, hip hop music was changed from conscious and pro-black, as we talked about previously, in the 80s and early 90s to degenerate and self-destructive nonsense that we hear today. Anybody wants to disagree with that. I just, I said that some stuff that they can listen to before and the stuff they listen to now. Just our whole love of calling each other N-words and V's, the psychological damage is done. We can't even understand how devastating it's been. And the crack epidemic changed the behavior of men and women starting in 1980. I've seen sisters do stuff for rocks that sisters wouldn't do, was unheard of black women doing before that. Abandoning their children and all types of stuff. So it goes without saying. I had nothing else to add to that. Y'all got anything to add? Y'all let me know. I'll put it up for because of the sister. You got a 1 point comment. I'll put it up for free. It's a no super chat night. I love you. Y'all know I appreciate the money. And to be honest, but tonight it's a no super chat. And let's see next. All right. Again, I'm anticipating people say, all right, so what's our problem then? Because ever since I first got knowledge, right, there's always that one person that thinks that I think I know everything, which I do not. Because if I knew everything, we'd be free. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll never see me pretending to know everything. Like there are just certain aspects of life that I am so completely unskilled at that is detrimental to me. Okay? That's the reality of the situation. That's why I need a complimentary partner who is, can fill in those blanks and be like, yeah, you just stink at this, so I'm gonna help you out. You know what I'm saying? But for those people who I'm sure are still lurking, that I've known since high school, that's like, since you know everything, it's for you. In the modern context, social media, television commercials, and shows like Scandal have been used to show black people in seemingly happy, healthy relationships with non-black people. Now, remember the Radical Report, and I think we did Radical Report and we did show last year, right? Well, we had beautiful black sisters, young, gorgeous. Couple of sisters, chocolate, just beautiful. I don't know what else to say. Like, if you think they weren't attractive, you just a hater. Like, you see some of the pictures, the more pictures you see, the better they look. And they get with Europeans and suffer horrible deaths. Right? Those are facts. That's what happened. They got with Europeans that we're seeing, or they get with Europeans and they have this mysterious death and don't nobody have any explanation. But on the social media and their Scandal and these commercials where everybody just, everybody hanging out in all these different groups and races and people that can't identify their race and everybody lovey-dovey and all this stuff, they won't tell you that. Meanwhile, black women are falling victim to predators who, once European males realize that they could just, what they think, grab these women, do whatever they want because they're easy prey and nobody's going to do anything. They're not going to suffer any consequences. It brings out the predators and the savages. So I don't say that stuff to like scare sisters. I just again, I'm putting you in. Used to say back then, putting you on the game. 5% used to say, or they probably still say, speak to warn the wicked from the wicked ways to what? Save their life. You have to save your life. I can only speak to warn. You have to save your life. Right? So no one can say, hey, nobody told me. Well, I told you. Put it out for free. Ain't even charge you. Black people who are in healthy relationships aren't pushed by the algorithm, and we don't support our own platforms well enough for them to compete with the major platforms. I have nothing to add to that. I mean, it is what it is. That's how it works. It says both black men and black women have developed toxic traits that we need to address before we can move forward. There's a lot of self-hatred in the black. There's a lot of self-hatred in the black community. I'm gonna do like Uber. I'm gonna say it 3 times. There's a lot of self-hatred in the black community, and it often manifests itself as attacks against the complementary gender. Can we be honest here? As black men, a lot of us as black men are cowards. Let me just be honest. A lot of us as black men don't want to, or won't, or scared to address our enemy. So we oftentimes come home and take it out on our woman instead of dealing with our enemy. We won't even use harsh language against our enemy. Right? Let's call it what it is, right? This is the reality of the situation, but we don't want to talk about it. And then a lot of our women now that they're in the workforce, they as brothers have pointed out, a lot of women, they'll submit to the employer, their employer, but won't submit to their man. But say they won't submit to a man, but you already submit to a man. There's a man of a different nationality. Bible was just, they was opposite. They wasn't listening to them folks at all. You got to calm them down. You like, hey, chill. And you know what I'm saying? And look, you have to tell them like, hey, fill out your resume before you get fired. That's all I'm saying. Like, start sending your resume out before you tell this dude what you really think. Like, I'm with you. You right, but I'm just saying, don't put yourself at risk out here. You got children or a child. I work with those types of sisters. Shout out to those sisters. They don't care nothing about the folks. They tell it like it is. That's my favorite black women. Oh man, so bad. I ain't gonna lie. I love those type of black women because they just amuse me. Because when you get, if you know it's just like that, you be like, oh, here she go. You're like, let me grab her before she tell him the truth in a way that could be so vicious and hurtful that they gonna fire the whole section. They not just gonna fire her, they gonna fire everybody standing in the area. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but anyway. All right. Do you have any solutions, brother? Since you know everything. All right. First thing that needs to happen is that people need to individually look at themselves in the mirror. First of all, remember what they used to say? Do you like what you see? A lot of sisters don't like what they see in the mirror, and that's problem A. That's what leads to all the other problems. They weren't taught self-love. Right? A lot of brothers, who look in the mirror, we don't see ourselves, see the flaws that we have sometimes. And those flaws are not always physical. Those flaws are spiritual, psychological. Because, as Bob Maruni said so eloquently, you can't swim in a sea of insanity and not get wet. We're swimming in a sea of insanity. Right? We're outside of our natural cultural incubator. And we're in... Now, I saw a European saying this. He's saying we're in a collapsing empire. So as the empire collapses, the insanity increases. Right? And There are forces within who are doing things to exacerbate the collapse and to exacerbate the cultural confusion and to exacerbate the dysfunction within the society deliberately. So, and I'm saying this not just targeted at us, but targeted at the society as a whole, right? We just tend to be caught up in it. And like I always use the euphemism, we're at the bottom of the Titanic. So when it springs a leak, we get wet first. You know what I'm saying? So that's the importance of doing self-analysis. Like, how much have I been affected by the insanity? Because we all been affected by the insanity. You being disingenuous if you think you haven't been infected by the insanity of this society. This society was insane on a good day. So we know it's sheer madness on this day, right? Now, says some people need therapy because they have significant traumatic events in their life. Like, that's just real. There's a lot of sisters that have been through some traumatic stuff, and to those sisters that have been through like wild, unspeakable things, and you still love black men, my heart goes out to you. I salute you. And I'll be honest, to those sisters, I'm gonna do a Tupac. I care and nobody else don't care. Remember Tupac said that? You know what I'm saying? So those sisters, you have my love. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Because some of y'all have told me your stories, and it's just like, yo. And hearing those stories are hard. You know what I'm saying? And I've even had sisters that we no longer communicate with. That don't mean I don't wish the best for them. Because they told me their stories, they told me what they've been through, and like some of that stuff just comes out. But like I said, still got love for them, still wish them the best, still hope that they doing well. Because many times our women have been through stuff that no one should go through. But we don't talk about that, and we don't like to address it. And we used to have events to address it. Like, people wouldn't show up, and like, nobody wants to deal with the reality of those situations. But those situations are real. And let me say something real quick. And I'm going to take a slight tangent. This is tangentially related to what I'm talking about. Listen, man. These dudes, because I'm mostly seeing dudes now, that's out here caping for Puffy and, you know, even Robert. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And Sean Carter and them. And talking about they only being attacked because they black men, this, that, and the third. Hey, man. Stop trying to protect predators in our community. Y'all people that was out here protecting Greek bang booty and all this old wild stuff. You dudes are disgusting. You make me sick to my stomach. Like every celebrity or every whoever, preachers and all these other people, man, all these people are not to be protected. Some of these people are foul. Some of these people are disgusting. Some of these people are predators. Some of these people need to be dealt with for real. And y'all sitting up here trying to protect these clowns. I gotta look at you sideways. It don't make no sense, man. Like we got some dead weight in our community. And these recent events are kind of exposing who's who. Right? Like when SBPM, when we really started pushing against the whole pedo agenda, man, we started getting attacked from angles that I never saw coming. And now I see it with this Sean Combs and Robert and all this stuff, man. Like, let's be realistic. We there's no excuse for supporting Robert Kelly, because we've been known since Aaliyah. And if you don't know, go listen to Vibe, listen to him talk about Aaliyah in the song, and then go look and see how old Aaliyah was when he wrote the song, because he didn't write the song the day before he released it. So how in the world are you gonna sit around and try to say he was whatever you saying? Why? How you even gonna play his music in a venue or say I'm still to the music? Man, no. All of that is garbage, right? Like, he's definitive. The Sean Combs stuff, we'll see, but Sean Combs always been a low life. Let's keep it 100. And Sean Carter always been a low life for real. But we don't want to accept the reality of what other people have been telling us. People been telling us about Sean Combs, I don't know how long. Like, let's not forget, he allegedly paid that bounty on Tupac to them cats on the West Coast. But I digress. My bad. Where was I? Oh yeah, okay, my bad. Yeah, some people need therapy because of significant traumatic injury. Events in their life, they are psychological injury. Other people just need to be realistic about the options and see what to do. So, like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if I were to say, man, I need to expand my pool, man, I need to do more push-ups and make more money. just plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's the start. You know what I'm saying? More push-ups and sit-ups, more push-aways from the team. I have lost a little weight recently, though. Salute to me. But anyway, Black love forums need to be held behind closed doors so that real grievances can be aired. There are real issues that we have as a people that won't be solved by running the social media. Here's the reality. I've done some of these events. Some of these events, they need to be put before the public so people can see us working on things. Other things need to be put, need to not just be shown. Maybe not even recorded. Maybe recorded just for history's sake, but not be shown, put before the public so we can talk real talk. If y'all disagree with that, or y'all agree with that, let me know. One, if y'all agree with that. Healthy Black couples need to be able to give guidance and wisdom to younger couples. I got that. That's my bad. To help them make it through. Many young people don't have positive love examples in their life. That's a big thing. One thing I realized, I was talking with a sister. I said, people of a certain generation, there's certain things they didn't see. And if we want certain behavior, more people are going to have to model the behavior so people see that it's effective, and then say, oh, okay, that's how it works. Or, oh, okay, I want that. Because in this day and time, people are very aspirational. So the reason a lot of people get support is because they put forth an image that other people can aspire to, even if they're not really living in an image. That's where the whole fake it till you make it comes in. So those people who advocate for this are going to have to show it in some way so people can see and believe in the possibilities of Black love. So, closing thoughts. It says, while finding and maintaining, that's supposed to be my bad. Black love is more difficult than ever. It is not impossible. The reality is relationships take work in order for them to function properly and successfully. Most of that work is done behind closed doors where no one else is around. those people who are dedicated to finding Black love and have to constantly monitor themselves to make sure negative thoughts don't override their thinking. It is difficult, but not impossible. And the reason why I focus so hard on Black love is because Black love is our salvation. Number one, when there's no Black love, there's no Black people, and then there's no need to discuss any of this because we're not here. Let's understand, depopulation is a goal of many people in high areas of society. It is only through Black love that we will produce a generation of warriors who will lead our people to liberation. Right? It is what it is. So now, if anybody wants to, if you have anything to contribute, I am going to put, am I not going to put, I am going to put the link is in the chat. If any brother or sister would like to contribute to tonight's discussion, by the way, the rules of the show, always be respectful to each other, never use derogatory language towards Black people, y'all know what I mean, no N-words, B's and H's. Women are not B's and H's, nor are they 3 or 4s. Such language is prohibited. Once is a mistake, twice is banishment. Black people are not N-words. And you can speak with passion, but be respectful, seek truth and understanding, and let us avoid stereotypes by our enemies. If anyone has anything they would like to contribute, whether you would like to hit the link or you have a comment that you would like to contribute, I'll put it up now. I'll give you all a couple of minutes to get your thoughts together, and let me adjust the music because I see Brother Black is in, and I'm not gonna lie, the music always sounds louder when other people come in. So, all right, Brother Black.
BB40.
Yes, sir, brother. BB40.
I think something that is, well, you were basically saying it. Morality. You know, that's what being within this European society has done to us. It's sucked us dry of our morality, and by spacing us out from each other, you know, another thing that the Barudis, you know, talk about is that, which goes in line with you know, what you said is swimming within the sea. But our communities are now vastly separated and apart. And because of that, you know, we're being left to operate on our own to try to figure things out, figure out life, to even figure out that there's an active war against us. That lack of community has helped to degrade our morality. So I think if we're ever going to see us rise, we have to put on a campaign to get back morality more than anything else.
Yeah, brother, I would agree. I wouldn't even, because the word, I agree with you, but I would say we need a Black decency campaign, because you got to just be decent before you can even get to the point of having high moral character. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is something. I hope y'all can hear me. My bad. I stood leaned away from the mic a little bit. This is something that, how can I say it? It's something that they have keyed in on is that when you degrade the woman's self-respect, she can't pass on any decency to the next generation. And so when you separate the woman from the man and then she doesn't have any decency, it cuts off the future generations. So like all of these attacks really work hand in hand, to your point. And because, and I think, I hope I'm not making this up, but I think I saw a saying somewhere that said, where there are no decent women, you can't have a decent nation. So that's going to have to start with the women, and the women are going to have to, that's something that they're going to have to be willing to call each other out on. But there's some things that's just beyond the pale. Like I understand sisters want to be seen, they like attention and so forth, so on. But some things, like, I'm gonna use an example. Sexy Red is just, and I'm not trying to like single her out, I'm using her as an example. The image that she has put forth is just disgusting. I'm just straight up. Like Megan Thee Stallion was bad, Nicki Minaj was bad, so forth, so on. But Sexy Red's image that she's putting out before children is disgusting. Her image is as disgusting as Lil Nas X was disgusting for our young boys. And so until we find a way to deal with the psychological and indeed the sonic assault on our people, which kind of ties into our economic situation, because people get paid and that's why they do what they do. It's gonna be a mighty task, a mighty battle. But you are correct. We have to find some way to make decency and good character cool, or at least not something that's vilified in our communities. Because I think right now, it's vilified. I think, in fact, many times, it's the women that gets corny. So, you have anything to add to that, brother?
Yeah. I'm gonna first start with this, give you a little chuckle, especially since Black Star is one of your favorite groups. That opening snippet, I can't remember what movie it comes from, but that opening snippet, the brown skinned lady, where the brothers are sitting down in the car, and they're just saying that I'm a victim, brother. I'm a victim of my conditioning. Even my conditioning has been conditioned. And that's what we look at when we look at the people. Again, look at the Sexy Red. It's a steady deconditioning, if anything. But yet and still, that's what we're looking at in play. And I remember when January 2018, Jeannie opened up that year's program on Facebook with talking about us, having black decency. He was talking about, and he rarely ever talks about, the person who got his name from Elder Kwesi. He rarely talks about that, but using that as the example.
Yeah.
Using that as the example. Yeah. Not trying to call no names out.
Right. What's funny is now that person is not even really relevant, so it ain't even worth naming them. But but proceed. I get it. I got it.
Yeah, not ironically enough, not him nor his, I guess you would say, protege, are relevant anymore. But to me, it's because of that, right? It's because of that lack of decency. And Jeannie was just highlighting those who lack decency in the things that they do versus those who do. And think about it, when you're getting into an intelligent conversation with someone, the moment you start spewing out profanity and vulgarity, is just like, yo, how educated really are you? And so it makes me think of what a lot of people are now classifying as RPG music. And don't get me wrong, there are some songs out there I'm hearing artists drop that sound very dope, and they really spitting a good message. But you are still using the N-word. I think if you really look at, that's one of the reasons why I can definitely say I love United Front so much, is that you can see the evolution. And even when they used the N-word, it was never in the same way that we hear, anybody say it now. They always used it in a way to point out that word. Back to I believe it was the second album. There was a song called Crash, where it says Bomani talks about, he uses the N-word, but say that you would rather call me that than to call me brother. Just putting out the ridicule of that. And again, to me, the decency is part of the morality. I don't think we should separate them, but to be able to get our people to be decent, period, I think that speaks more to the mind and to actions, whereas morality is that soul, which is what, if we practice decency, yes, we will inherently get back to morality.
Right. I say, man, I can't disagree with anything you're saying. All I can do is second and third it. Everything you said. We got a long way to go. That's all I can say. Everything, literally, people who are trying to do the things that are positive for Black people are swimming upstream against a waterfall of negativity and many times outright evil. And it just is what it is. So if you got anything else to add, brother?
No, that is it, man. I think if we're going to be serious about anything, we have to be able to separate our not so skin folk away from the rest of us. We got to cut that cancer, because we know that everybody ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, I concur. One thing we have to do is like-minded people have to be closer, if not in physical proximity, at least in spiritual proximity, and keep in contact and build relationships with each other, because I mean it's rough out here. Like, those of y'all who live in those environments where there aren't a lot of like-minded people, I don't know how y'all do it, being completely honest. So everybody that does that maintains themselves spiritually, psychologically, I appreciate it. So before I go, I would just like to get sister say that, brother, you would spit. I would like to get one sister on, give her thoughts before I go, so we can have some balance, we can have some maya. So I'm going to put the link back in chat. See if there's any sisters that have anything to contribute. And then, first of all, I'm send it my bed. And then we'll close out, because it's been 2 hours. I feel like it's been a productive conversation. I hope you all think so as well. It's funny, as we were going on, I just thought about a couple of other sisters that I didn't send a message out to, that I would probably have liked this discussion. So let's see. I'll give y'all 90 seconds or so. Any sisters going once? And I was having a discussion with a sister, and it's funny now because I haven't been able to get in contact with her. Let me just say this. I was talking to a sister, and I said, listen, we need the positive Black women, especially the African-minded Black women, or the conscious Black women, or Black women that are who are like minded with us, we need y'all to stop hiding, because what happens is that when we as men say that there are good quality sisters out here, but then sisters won't show up for forums or platforms like this, then brothers don't believe it. So I told her that, and once I told her that, she, then we had a deeper conversation. Then she got it, but haven't been able to contact her. So that is what it is. But I only say that to say that, and there's a sister on here on this YouTube platform that she designates two types of black women as lionesses and hyenas. And she says that lionesses have a tendency to not be out as much. I forgot her reasoning, but I just say this. Brothers need to see and hear from the lionesses, because we hear and see the other one all the time. And I know a lot of sisters say their personality was more low key. Like, I know a lot of y'all just kind of laid back, don't want to be out here. That's cool, but brothers need to know y'all exist. That's I'm letting y'all know. So nobody wants to come on tonight. You don't want to. Yeah, brother. Right. Yes, sir, brother. So I'm just put that out in the atmosphere for next time. I am going to release some content this weekend. I'm not sure whether it be another live stream or a radical report, but I'm gonna work on something. Because it's supposed to be cold and snow and all types of stuff happening. So don't think I'll be going anywhere this weekend. So I'm gonna work on some more content for you all for the next couple of weeks. I'll try to have stuff up for the first half of the month, and then I do have to take a break for the second half of the month and make some moves and do some things. But you say a follow up to the New Orleans Vegas situation. Okay. Yeah, I definitely do that, because now you're right, They're putting out, thank you, bro. They are putting out new information. Now they're saying, that thing is so fluid. I might have to wait another couple of days, because I've heard contradictory things. But yeah, we definitely need to do a follow up to that. I don't know. I'll see. I'll see what format that takes. I'll ask you all now. What if y'all could pick a day for Brother Janie to come on? What day would y'all choose between Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday? If it's Sunday, for me, it would have to be the afternoon. So if y'all got a day in particular that y'all would prefer, now is the time to express yourself. Brother says Sunday. Now here's the thing, brother. If it's Sunday, it won't be at night. It'll be during the day. So, for me, it would have to be the afternoon, and then I had to see if the brother can do that. Yeah, Sunday is the norm at night, but I can't do it at night. As a part of the job. Listen, now, if y'all can guarantee me, which I know you can't, but if y'all can guarantee me how many people we got now? If y'all can guarantee 5 times as many viewers as we have now, and $50 plus a super chat, if y'all can guarantee me that, then maybe I can make some arrangements, But I know y'all can't guarantee the viewers. Y'all might can guarantee the money. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. So But I'll see. I'll let y'all know because it's about to be Friday. Because I do want to have enough days for him to let people know. But I got to talk to him and see what his schedule is. But I actually don't know. Because as y'all know, he's been traveling. So I got to check in with him and see what his availability is. Because I might sit up here and say a day, and he's like, nah, actually, I'm doing X, Y, Z. So, but y'all right, Sunday night is the normal night. I just don't want to wait till, yeah, you're right, bro. Next lecture, February, bro. I don't want to wait till next week, because next weekend would be Dr. College weekend. I'll let y'all know. I'll see. I had to get with the brother instantly, but I know he's amenable to doing it. I just have to figure out what day. So, with that, brothers and sisters, man, I thank you all for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please go back and watch some of the older content that you may have missed. And yeah, I am your host, DC Radical 1. You can follow me on Instagram at DC.Radical1, on Twitter at DC_Radical_ONE, and on OTW2, which is a Black-owned platform, at DC Radical 1. And you can donate via Cashapp, $DC Radical 1. And of course, you can email me at DC.Radical1_ at protonmail.com. Again, thank you all for your support. Thank the sister for her very generous donation. And with that, I say a beautiful day and straight pride.
Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also follow us on our other social media platforms. On Instagram, we're at DC.Radical1. On Twitter, we're at DC_Radical_ONE. And the Cash App is $DC Radical1. Again, thank you for subscribing. A big for ODA and straight black pride.